In this series, I go through my procedure for taking a model from Cinema 4D, preparing it for Substance Painter, doing everything we need to paint it and create all our maps in Substance Painter, and then bringing it back into Cinema 4D to take advantage of the physically based render properties that we've created in Substance Painter. In Chapter 1, in the first chapter, we set up a simple asset to be painted in Substance Painter. We start by collapsing the model to a low-res polygon object, and to get the best results out of Substance Painter, you have to make sure your model has a nice UV layout with no overlapping. We will use a variety of polygon selection tools such as loop, ring, grow, fill, and UV tools, UV peeler, relax, to create a packed UV page. Then we export both a high-res and a low-res polygon version. In Chapter 2, next we open up Substance Painter and we create a new project with which we add our low polygon object. We'll familiarize ourselves with the different managers, the shelf, layers, texture sets, settings, paint properties, and then using our higher res mesh, we'll bake out various maps, ambient occlusion, normal, curvature, etc. Then we add a rough metal preset material to a layer, over which we place a rust material with a mask generator. And then by fine-tuning our mask, it enables us to dial in just the right amount of rust. With the additions of more paint layers, we use particle brushes for scratches and surface details. In Chapter 3, our next example is a bit more complex. It consists of a symmetry and a few polygon objects. After we collapse our symmetry object, we start with its largest parts and start laying out our UV islands. In Chapter 4, we continue where we started. We're laying out our UVs and using various projection techniques and the relax tool. In Chapter 5, after we collapse the parts to a single object, we arrange all our UV islands together into a single UV page. Then we are ready to paint a vertex color map, which will be our color ID map once we've brought it into Substance Painter via the FBX export module. In Chapter 6, we open up a new project in Substance Painter using our pipe wrench model. After applying some smart materials, we'll customize them to suit our project. After fine-tuning the sliders of the procedural aspects of our layered material, we'll get more hands-on with the painting tools. In Chapter 7, on an additional paint layer, we'll use a stencil to create some surface detail. Then we come in with the particle brush and distress it with some cracks and burns. And then we knock it back a little bit with the particle eraser. And then in Chapter 8, finally we add some text using a stencil, and we bang it up a little bit with the eraser, and then we're ready to export all our maps. And in Chapter 9, first we set up our scene to render. We choose the physical render, enable global illumination, and then we'll light it with an HDRI image applied to a sky object. Then we merge in our spanner and pipe wrench that we previously prepared, and then start building their materials with the maps we created in Substance Painter. And then finally we do some test renders to enjoy the fruits of our labors. It was a lot of fun, and I hope you'll join me and learn a couple new things.